class. I'm Luzma, and this is a story about the worst day of my life. It was going to be a great day. I was going to walk into an audition, and I was going to walk out with a contract to play Pinkadink the Funkin' on the Diddy Doodle Works national tour. There's no way I wasn't going to get it because I had everything lined up perfectly. First of all, I had connections. My husband was already working for the TV show version of the show. He was building all their main sets for the show, and then he'd been asked to be the head carpenter on the national tour. So I was pretty sure he was going to tell the director that I was going to audition and that he wanted me to go on tour, so that was a big deal. Also, I had a friend who was going to be the choreographer for the show. She and I had worked together on a previous show, so she knew I could sing, she knew that I could dance, and she knew my work ethic. Which brings me to my second point. I had experience. The show she and my husband and I had all done together was Dora the Explorer Live, which was a big kids show with foam characters just like this one was going to be. So if I could be an iguana, which I played on the Dora show, I understudied Dora, was kind of my big job, but mainly in the show I played an iguana, Isa the iguana. And so if I could play an iguana with a big giant iguana costume, giant tail, giant feet, giant head, with a pirate costume on top of that, and a pirate hat on top of my giant iguana head, all while singing Gloria Estefan's Get on Your Feet and celebrating and dancing because we got our pirate treasure back from the pirate piggies, and we were able to stop Swiper from swiping it, then I definitely could play a Funkin'. Also, I was prepared for this audition. I had the perfect song, I had warmed up, I was all stretched out, and I had my bag all packed with my stuff for the day. I was set to go. So I get to the audition, and I walk in, and the first thing we're going to do is choreography. So I go in there, and I bomb it. I'm like, what is happening? Okay, I'm freaking out. Okay, I can fix this. I am an amazing singer, and that's what I do best. So I'm going to fix this with my singing. So I go in there, and I bomb that too. What is happening? I'm like, okay, this is not normal for me. Maybe I self-sabotaged because I wanted it so bad because I've been stuck in this terrible job that I hated, and I hadn't performed in years, and I just really wanted to perform again. And I left that audition so completely devastated, and I was just crying, and I was like, why am I crying? I never cry at auditions. It's not normal for me. So I'm like, crying through the streets of New York, and I'm like, I'm going to go talk to somebody. And so I go to the Equity building, and I say, hi, is this where the counseling is? And the lady's like, that's the Actors Fund. It's like 3 blocks up. And I'm like, and I walk myself over carrying my heavy bag to the Actors Fund, and I knock on the door, and the lady there says to me, I say, hi, I'm looking for the counseling, and she's like, this is the work program, health is down the hall. So I'm like, and I walk over to the health program, and I get there, and I buzz the buzzer, and the lady answers, and she says, hi, what can I help you with today? And I'm like, counseling! And she's like, and who are you here to see? I'm like, anybody! And I'm literally doing this in the hallway, and like anybody could walk by. It was horrible. I walk into the waiting room. Obviously, she buzzed me in. And so I sit down, and I'm looking at the magazines, and I'm going, and I'm crying and trying not to make eye contact with the only other person in the room. It was horrible. Worst day ever. But ultimately that day I realized that I was depressed, or admitted finally to myself that I was depressed. And I decided to go and get help for myself right then and there. And it changed my life.